Hey guys, Sarah here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and today is going to be video number 3 in my Unhaul project featuring young adult books. So, I have gone through my shelves. There were several books I wanted to keep. Some I already knew I wanted to get rid of, and then a bunch more that I just didn't know if I wanted to keep them at all for various reasons. Most of because I can't even remember what they're about. So, let's go through the books I chose. For this one, I have 7 books I'm going to be doing try chapters for. I don't know if I said that. I'm going to be doing try chapters to determine whether or not the story and writing style are my cup of tea. So let's go through each one so you can see what we're going to be reading, and then we'll get to the actual try chapter part. So first up, we have The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. Far from the Tree by Andrew Solomon, and this is Young Adult Edition. Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian. Renegades by Marissa Meyer. What I Like About You by Marisa Cantor. The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett. And finally, Tell Me You Love Me, Tell Me You Lies is crossed out. So, okay. So it says it's Tell Me Lies by Corolla Lovering, I think. But on the front it says, Tell Me You Love Me, Tell Me You Need Me, Tell Me I'm Yours, Tell Me It's Not Over, Tell Me You'll Change, Tell Me Lies. I can't imagine that whole thing is the title. So on the side it says Tell Me Lies is the actual title. All right. So those are the books we're going to focus on in today's video. I'm just going to pull one here. Let's start with The Westing Game and see where I fall on that. Read chapter 1 in The Westing Game, and I swear I read this whenever I was younger. Like, based on the cover. Younger, I mean like really younger, single digits younger. But the first chapter doesn't sound even remotely familiar to me, so maybe I had it and I just never read it. In any case, with the exception of the fact that the writing in this is so small, okay, it's like really, really small. I am so intrigued by this and definitely want to read this at some point. So that, my friend, is a keeper. Okay, let's move on to Far from the Tree. Like I said, this is a young adult edition, and did not mean to get the young adult edition. This is how it came from Half Price Books. I feel like that happens a lot. It doesn't totally specify it's young adult edition. How children and their parents learn to accept one another. Our differences unite us. So let me have a gander through this, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Okay, Far from the Tree. This is a really interesting book. Like I said, this is the young adult edition, and so what I want to figure out is how they differ from one another, on whether I should stick with this one or if I should give this one away and then get the adult, like the one that was written normally, the original edition from the library. So this focuses on things that make us different from one another, and they call them vertical identities versus horizontal identities. So vertical identities are the identities that you have in common with your parents and your grandparents and whatnot. So that would be like my identity as a white person, my identity as a Christian, my identity as a tall female, my identity as being Ashkenazi Jewish, my, that kind of thing. Then your horizontal identity is the pieces of your identity that are different from your parent identity, and therefore you have to seek out a subculture in order to have others to identify within that community. So that would be things like if a child chooses a different religion than their parents or grandparents or whatnot. It would be being a member of the LGBTQ plus community when their parents are straight, or vice versa, being part of the straight community if your parents are of the LGBTQ plus community. LGBTQIA. I'm so bad at this now. LGBTQAI plus, correct? I think I got that right that time. Please forgive me. It would be horizontal would be, let's say that a set of white parents adopts a Chinese child, then the child would have a horizontal identity. And so it examines how a lot of times if parents have been given an option to somehow change that horizontal identity of their child, they would do so. And one of the examples that they give is of the cochlear implant for a deaf child. For a cochlear implant to work well, that needs to be implanted close to infant, like in infancy. And the deaf community does not like the cochlear implant because their deafness is part of their identity, and it's taking that identity away before that child can make a decision for themselves. So it's literally stripping them of an identity. But ultimately, how those things that we would change if we had the opportunity to early on end up in the long run being something that we are very thankful for, or give us unique experiences that we otherwise would not have. It sounds really so very good. This first chapter was really, really good. So like I said, I'm going to keep it for now, but I need to research whether or not the differences between the young adult version versus the adult version. So that's where I stand on that. But all right, keeping that one for now. Okay. Next, let's go on to Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I love the Lunar Chronicles, but I feel like I've tried to read some other stuff by her that I didn't like as much. So I'm really not sure where I'm going to stand on this. Like, I think it was Heartless. I didn't really care for Heartless. I ended up DNFing that. And even in regards to the Lunar Chronicles, it was really the 4 main books I liked. I didn't really care for Stars Above and Fairest. So let's have let's take a chance with this one and see where I fall on it. All right, read the prologue to Renegades because usually I'll read the prologue and the first chapter, but the prologue was actually quite long, and I got enough of a sense that I do definitely want to read this one. It really gave me like Divergent vibes, and I liked Divergent a whole lot whenever it came out. So I am going to be keeping this one. All right, let's move on to Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian. And this is one of those I got off Book Outlet because I needed to meet the criteria for free shipping. So let's see if it actually seems like it's going to be any good. All right, just read, like, there's like a several page letter, diary entry, I guess, that starts this book. And then I read chapter 1 also. And it sounds cute. So it's like the summer before college, and this ice cream shop has been around since like World War II. And it's always been run by females, and something happens to the owner, and I think her grandson or something comes and takes over. Grandnephew comes to take over, and everything gets mixed up, and there's a romance and all that stuff too. And it sounds cute. So I'm gonna keep this one. Not doing very good this time. I did so good last time. All right, 3 more to go. All right, let's try Tell Me Lies by Corolla Lovering. Okay, Tell Me Lies. This one is just not for me. I didn't even get through the entire first chapter. I found the it's told from dual perspectives, but the female that is telling the one perspective, I found her to be exceptionally irritating, and so much body talk. Like, she's like, I had to put on my tracksuit and it's a size 4 instead of my size 2. Like, really? You're complaining because you're a size 4? And then about how she needed to get to the gym, and staring longingly at pastries that, and then talking about carbs. It's just like, is the whole book going to be this way? Every page there's something about how, she needs to lose weight, or being hungry but she can't eat, and that kind of thing. And it's I don't get the sense this is supposed to be about like an eating disorder or anything. It's about a romance that occurred. They must have at some point broken up, and I'm guessing they're going to get back together or something. Who knows? But in any case, this is not for me. Also, I should say, I was mistaken. This is not young adult. I thought that it was. It was on my young adult shelf because I thought that it was. It appears to be new adult, and it's actually technically categorized based on the title page as contemporary woman coming of age psychological love stories. So I would say, category wise, I would classify this based on the age of the characters as new adult. So that one is out the door. All right, let's try out The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett. Okay, read the first chapter of Lady Rogue, and something about the writing of this reminds me of, I think what that book was called. I wanted to like it so much. It was about the French Revolution, and these girls. Oh, hold on, let me see what it was called. It wasn't The Luminaries. I feel like I got it around the same time as Luminaries, though. There's this girl and a hot air balloon. Oh my goodness, guys. What was it called? Guy Trelise. That's who it's by. What was it called? Enchanté. Oh, man, that was painful. Okay, this really reminds me of Enchanté by Gita Trelise, and I did not care for that one. Beautiful cover. And this one too. Beautiful cover. Just not really interested. It is historical. I think what had drawn me to this was there's like a Dracula story in here. They are on the hunt for a ring that had been owned by Dracula, and there's supposed to be some hijinks and stuff, but not caring for it. I don't really want to read more of it, so I'll unhaul that one. All right, and then last one up for today, What I Like About You by Marisa Cantor. All right, What I Like About You, I'm intrigued. It sounds fun. So it reminds me somewhat of Tell Me Three Things. I can't remember who that's by. I'll try and put that book right here. I did enjoy that book. And there's some mixed media in here. The female has an online, very robust online personality that's totally different from her real life personality, and she had made a really close friend as this online personality, and she's about to meet up with him in real life. I don't think it was on purpose. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. And she has to figure out how to tell him who she really is. Also, her and her brother have gone to stay with their grandfather. They just lost their grandmother about 6 months prior. Their parents are directors on their way to Israel. She needs to focus on her senior year so she can get into NYU. And when they get to the grandfather's house, it is completely different. Like, since grandma died 6 months ago, he's remodeled everything except for, I think there's like one room left. He looks completely different. Like, he's totally different, and they aren't quite comfortable yet. So anyway, it sounds like a good read, and I'm going to keep it. All right, So not as successful as yesterday. Let's do a brief review. So the books I am getting rid of: The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett and Tell Me Lies by Carola Levering. The books that we are going to keep: let's see. What I Like About You by Marisa Cantor, Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian, Renegades by Marissa Meyer, The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin, and Far from the Tree by Andrew Solomon, but need to determine if I want to read this version or if I should but just borrow the adult version from the library. So that's where we stand today. All right, if you would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I have one more young adult try a chapter left, and then we'll move into another genre. If you would like to connect with me anywhere else on the interwebs, everywhere you can find me is down in the description box. Don't forget, I also post FlossTube and ColorTube videos as well. All right, guys, I will catch up with you later. Bye!